Oh, that's part of the. Oh, we're going. Sweet. Yeah, got the message from Christian this morning at 7:30. We're going to do a podcast today. Got pretty nervous. It's like, do we get makeup or what's the deal?
We brought out the old C team here.
Yeah.
Old Kale's in Spokane delivering safes with Kalen, and you got Junior's got the sniffles at home.
The hostless podcast.
Safe
space.
So we're gonna get into this, even though we're not your usuals here. Gary and I combined, we still got about almost 20 years in the old safe industry if you combine us together.
Yeah, about that.
So we still know a thing or two.
Yeah, I'll try not to get too nervous. I thought I was ready to go on Theo Vaughn. I guess not.
All right, pull her on out,
All right,
Gary.
Here we go. What's a common mistake customers make when preparing for a delivery?
Oh, that's a good question. I think we'll let Gary take the lead on this one.
Yeah.
Gary's delivered more safes than pretty much anybody in the country.
Quick math is probably about 25,000 safes-ish, maybe 20,000. I'm probably being generous to myself. Most common mistake customers make when preparing for a delivery. Well, something we run into a lot. One of the things we run into a lot is a lot of times safe wants to go into a closet and we measure the safe depth-wise, thinking we can go through there sideways, and that's true. But then the closet doesn't open up a whole bunch on the inside, and you need to rotate the safe once you get in there, and the old diagonal measurement ends up coming into effect. And actually that just happened last week, and so we had to return. Guy had to alter some doorways so that we can get the safe exactly where he wanted it.
Yeah, the old diagonal measurement.
That's a big one.
That'll get you.
And then just having stuff in the way.
Yeah.
That's not really a mistake. That's negligence, I'd say. Having the cars out of the way, pets put away. We love dogs and animals, cats. Depends on the guy that's out there, but just having a clear path for us is really important when it comes to getting the delivery done quickly and safely. And that's
Clear path.
Have a clear path. Don't forget about the diagonal measurement.
Good start there. Okay. Where is the best place to install a safe, Gary?
Where's your safe installed, Riley?
My safe is in my master closet.
Okay.
The reason we went master closet was because of the thing that we tell people every single day inside the showroom is put a safe kind of where you're going to use it. So I think where you get that traffic, and where you're actually going to utilize the safe's a good option. Before that, I had my safe in my garage, which made sense because I didn't have a good spot for it in the house. I'd say that probably, I don't know, what do you think? 50% of the safes we put are in garages, maybe more?
Yeah, probably so.
50, 60%?
Yeah, my safe's in my garage, and for me, that's where I get ready to go duck hunting. That's when I come home, I can wipe everything off real quick, get things cleaned up, and toss it back in the safe. I would say the most important thing is put it where it's easy for you to use based on what you're using it for, I guess. And that's different for everybody, but if your main purpose of your safe is to store your jewelry, don't put it in the garage.
Yeah,
because
it's pain in the butt to go out in the garage.
Pain in the butt. You're going to go there when you're going out to dinner with your spouse and get the necklace or the earrings or whatever you want out of there. When you come home and the babysitter's leaving and the kids are running around, you're trying to get ready for bed, you're not going to take the time to go back there and put it back. And worst case scenarios, you throw that in the top drawer, forget about it, go out to dinner again, pull some more stuff out of the safe, put it in the top drawer, and then, of course, that's when the worst case scenario will happen and you get burglarized.
I agree with you. And if that's the case, what do you say to the people that say, isn't the master bedroom, closet, and the garage the first place that somebody looks for a safe when they break into your home? What do you think about that? That
may be true. It probably is true. But if you buy a good enough safe, and especially in the garage, if it's bolted down to the concrete, they might find it. They might try and break into it, but it's really hard to pry open a safe when it's bolted to the floor.
Yeah.
Much more so on concrete versus wood, because on a wood subfloor, technically, depending on the weight of the safe, you can get leverage on it and rip it out of the wood.
But it comes down more to buying the appropriate safe.
Absolutely.
I think is kind of what you think there, right?
Yes, absolutely.
we're on board there.
Yeah, agree with that.
All right, let's grab the next one, huh?
How much time we got here?
Here, 5 minutes.
If your job were a video game,
Uh-huh.
what would your power-ups be?
Oh, if your job was a video game, give me an example.
Not a big gamer.
What do you mean, Christian? What are we going for there? Like, what kind of, are you talking about like super strength? But that's just a superpower.
Yeah,
What do you mean?
Something that would help you. Super strength would help.
Oh.
Right, deliver.
Oh, okay. So a superpower that I could have at work,
Like a power up.
a power up. I think a good power up for me, especially that would even help at this podcast right now, would be a 2 or 3 beer head start to give yourself a little social lubricant.
Loosen up a little bit.
Yeah, I could
Maybe not on deliveries.
I can tell you in terms of selling a safe. Yeah, you find one of us at a sportsman show or something where we're having a good time, and you get 2 or 3 beers in us, and we're going to perform a little bit better that day than if we didn't drink.
Yeah. And I guess if we're looking for sponsors, maybe some Mountain Ops, Ignite.
Yeah.
That might help. Zin, actually Alps. Shout out Tucker.
Yeah.
Power up on deliveries. Yeah. You know, a little extra strength wouldn't hurt at times, but to most people's surprise, when we're delivering safes, it's not really a strength game. I guess technically, if you count David Jr., I'm like the second biggest individual that delivers safes, but we got some guys that come out on the road that are, Wyatt's a $135 soaking wet, and with the right partner, he can get a lot of stuff done, man. And a lot of what we do is more technical, and you're using your mind a lot more than you are using just brute strength. Yeah. And Zins.
Yep, for sure.
Alps. Oh, your turn.
Okay. Where is the strangest place you've installed a safe? I don't have much here. I've installed a total of, I don't know, maybe 100 safes. I'm trying to think of what I got in the tank. You're going to have something much better than I do.
Yes. I guess that's kind of can be viewed a little bit different as a question. There's kind of unique location in the home or like difficulty of the install. For that, I think of 2 with like a remote control moving wall that gets out of the way, and that kind of enters you into a cool space where the safe's located. Mike and I back in the day delivered a safe into a guy's basement. There was no around the house access. There was no stairs in the house. There was a closet door that once you open it went straight down, and there was a rebar ladder on the side. And we used to carry a safe that kind of came in parts and it bolted together from the inside.
The old Dakota XP.
Dakota XP, yep. And we had to kind of set up a pulley system on that ladder and lower those.
Just winch her down?
Just kind of winch those things down part by part. And ended up being a really, really short ceiling down there. So Mike and I are both pretty tall guys. So we kind of worked hunched over for, 2 hours putting this safe together. That was a pain in the butt. And it's not, I guess on the other side of it, it's not strange, but different types of businesses, everybody thinks safe at home, safe at jewelry store. One of the cooler places I've been was actually a card company, collectible cards, baseball cards, Pokemon, etc. And that was a pretty cool space, and not something you get to see every day for sure.
Yeah. Cool.
What's your biggest pet peeve when you show up to a delivery?
Oh, I think you kind of hit that one on the nose here just with our first question there, right? When you got the cars in the driveway, that'll get you. You don't have a clear pathway of where the safe needs to go. What was the other one?
Pets.
Yeah, pets.
Pets, yeah. Everybody's dog's pretty nice until they're not.
Yeah.
And I've always thought that dogs picked up on personalities and kind of knew who they were dealing with, and doesn't seem to be the case.
Yeah. You got the old protector of the home.
Yeah, the poodles, the full-size poodles you got to watch out for. And I don't know what that other dog was that bit me, but yeah, that's not cool. And if you know your dog's aggressive, definitely don't have it out, and don't reach out to shake our hand. And shake our hand and have your dog bite us and say that your dog doesn't like it when people touch you, because that's not the right move. And if it seems like I'm talking about you, I am, whoever that was.
Yeah, for sure. The one thing that comes to my mind too, going back to pets, there is, I can think of, on one of the 100 to 200 deliveries I've been on, laying plywood in the back of somebody's yard, and their dog had gone to the bathroom all over the backyard, and then I was picking up plywood with dog poop all over the plywood, getting my hand in that. Sometimes you gotta get your hands dirty. So, I mean, I understand it's going to happen. I understand you might have a little bit back there, but if you can pick up after your pet before we come out there, there's a good chance we might be laying plywood if we're going around the back of your house.
Yeah, you might miss one or two pieces there, but try and get the most of it. I guess we can double back to the comment about cats earlier too. Again, not necessarily the owner's fault, but kneeling down in cat pee is not cool. It's just not. Yeah, pet peeve. That's a clear path. Clear path is important.
Okay, what is the heaviest safe you've ever had to move, and how did you do it? Mine's pretty underwhelming. Mine was with Gary. I understand that all my moving stuff's pretty underwhelming because I don't do it every day, but Gary does. Gary and I put a just right around 4,000 pound safe, which isn't super heavy. I mean, it's a heavy safe, but it's not our heaviest safe, into a commercial location, and pretty easy on the old flat when it was flat. But as soon as we got a little bit of grade there, it was pretty difficult for me to push, but got her done.
Yeah, I think I remember that one. Yeah. Heaviest safe, I think 8,900 pounds. Again, it goes back to most of the time you're not, if it's something's 8,600 pounds, you're just not going to muscle it, right? And so there's a lot of technique, a lot of finesse, and in large part you're just using the tools that are available. And on something heavy like that, usually what we do is lay out what we call slick sticks, and it's a foam padded bottom on a piece of wood with a Teflon rail, or actually it's a UHMW rail on top, and we sort of build a railroad track and slide the safe through the home, and we kind of pass those through the house as we go. On something that heavy, technically you could use those, but it just takes a lot of force, and so we actually use steel pipe and actually Schedule 40 PVC for the most part, and we kind of keep one or two pieces of steel under there as we go, and it's kind of a cool process. When you're rolling in the straight line, you keep things square, and when you want to turn the safe, you just kind of put that next pipe in there diagonally, and it'll kind of pull it around the corner for you. And it's probably how they built the pyramids. That's what I would say. Levers and rollers, man.
That's what they say.
Yeah, it goes a long ways. Or
there's aliens.
If you listen to Joe Rogan, there's aliens, and they're real. Would you rather move a 1,500 pound safe up 3 flights of stairs, or deliver 10 small safes in one day?
I would say for myself, since I'm not delivering, I'm gonna go. It depends on how much money I got to deliver that 1,500 pound safe upstairs and how intricate it is.
Yeah.
Because if we got good money for it, there's a shot that it could be pretty profitable.
Risk versus reward, yeah. That's real.
However, 10 small safes,
can add up.
That can add up pretty quick. So
that can add up
I'm going to say in most cases the 10 small safes.
That's the correct answer, is 10 small safes. On a busy day when we're moving and grooving and we're in and out of places 35, 45 minutes, and especially if they're close together, you can make a 12-hour day feel like, 7-8 hour day real quick.
Yeah.
And so when you get on those more difficult deliveries and you're doing something that heavy, or not even that heavy, just that involved, there's a lot of steps to it, and you're at somebody's place for an hour and a half or 2 hours, when most times you're doing it in 45 minutes. It just feels like you've been there a long time, and by the time you get out of there, you're ready to be gone. I will say that being able to do 3 flights of stairs with something that heavy is what sets us apart from our lack of competition, I guess. There's not a lot of people that can do that or are willing to do that, and I actually do enjoy. There's a sense of accomplishment, I guess, when you get done doing something like that, knowing that there's just not a lot of other people out there that would even try it or be happy to do it and be glad that we were able to do it and get the safe where the customer wanted it at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think I guess if you are putting me on the delivery truck that day, I would rather deliver that 1,500-pound safe upstairs, because I like doing fun things when I'm on my field trip, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
it is.
I learn more when I'm delivering that 1,500-pound safe upstairs than when we're doing 10 safes in the garage, right?
If they were all 400 pounds and they all went in the garage, anybody could do it, right?
Yeah,
It doesn't make you feel too special, I guess.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're down to our last one here.
This goes fast.
How many deliveries do you do on average during a day?
Depends on who you ask. That number changes. It's changed over the years. This is my 12th. I'm into my 12th year doing this. I think when I started, the number was probably 5 or 6, which we would exaggerate to 7, because there were days when we were doing 7. But if you average out the whole year, that first year, we were probably doing 5 or 6 stops a day. Moving on, 3 years later, when I started, we were really kind of exploding. We moved from the small shop off David Senior's place over here to this big warehouse location off of a main highway. 3rd, 4th year, we were probably truly doing 7 stops a day. And then we started running 2 crews, probably went back to 5 or 6 a day.
Yeah, because when you were doing 5 or 6 at the start, it was just one crew. It wasn't two.
Yeah, but there was a point there, geez, it's probably 2016, I'd say, where we made a really big jump here at Northwest Safe as far as volume done. And we expanded to 2 crews, and that brought that total number a day per crew down, probably back to 5 or 6, and then slowly creeped back up to 7. And now, on most days, we're doing 7 stops, 8 stops, and there's days where we got 12.
Like you said, yeah, going back to that last question, if you got, 5 of those 400-pound safes, you can do more that day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we can get out of here at 7:00 and have 12 stops that are probably on the south end.
Yeah.
And they're mostly garage deliveries or lighter weight safes going into the ground floor, and you can knock 12 out and be back by the time these guys get to go home, Yeah. So yeah, that's that.
Yeah, I think that was those were good delivery questions there. I think that was a good start to having the first delivery guy on the old podcast there.
Yeah, I'm excited to do more of them. I think something to look forward to. We talked about this the other day is getting more variety in here, right? We're going to get Jeff in here and do some safe technician questions, get some sales specific stuff and some technical stuff. But I'm excited to get kind of a little bit bigger roundtable going.
Yeah.
Maybe like Riley said, safe space after hours, after 6 p.m. with those Rainier beers, and just have fun. And maybe you guys can listen to us tell stories about certain deliveries we've been on, and hear some of the fun stuff and hear some of the fun stories of other experiences that we get to do as a team here at Northwest Safe. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, thank you guys. We'll see you next week.
Stay safe. Got him.